First, it was the Sanders campaign saying the head of the DNC was throwing shade. Well, now some other Democrats on Capitol Hill have started quietly discussing whether Debbie Wasserman Schultz should be removed from her post. Sources tell CNN there's been no formal effort to oust Wasserman Schultz, but some senators fear that she's becoming too toxic.
CNN senior political reporter Manu Raju right in the middle of all this reporting and these details. Manu, what do you got?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Actually, these discussions really have started to intensify over the last few days. Now, this is not a coordinated or formal effort, but it's been happening behind the scenes, chatter on Capitol Hill among certain members who are worried about what they're seeing in their party right now after, of course, that Nevada aftermath and when Sanders supporters really took it to party leaders and led to sort of that chaotic scene. Folks are worried that come Philadelphia, the July convention, maybe that will replay itself and that whether Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who's been accused by the Bernie Sanders campaign as someone who's not being fair and actually been quietly siding with Hillary Clinton, could actually tamp down that chaos. Now, even some Hillary Clinton supporters seem to be unnerved about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, whether she can actually play that role to calm down tensions. I just had a chance to talk to Claire McCaskill, a leading Hillary Clinton supporter, about Debbie Wasserman Schultz's role at the DNC chair. She did not call on her to step aside, but she came right up to it.
Well, I think this will all get worked out over time. The role of the DNC chair is always a supportive role, not a starring role. And I think because of what has occurred, it's hard for her to avoid a starring role. And so I hope it'll all get worked out. I understand that, fair or unfair, she is seen by many in the Sanders camp as a representative of the problem. And, you know, that may not be completely fair to her, but it's a reality.
So sort of a gentle nudging from Claire McCaskill there. And other senators also expressed that concern privately. Some actually said that she may be too toxic come July. Now, there are others who do support Debbie Wasserman Schultz, to be fair here. Even House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has come out and said that she supports her staying in that role. Other senators have suggested that as well. And, of course, members of Congress don't make that decision. Hillary Clinton's campaign would make that decision, assuming she gets that nomination. So we'll see how this plays out. But clearly part of that larger concern within the party about uniting ahead of the July convention, something that has really sort of intensified over the last several days, guys.
And pretty amazing that not only that folks are not just talking about it, but going on camera and on the record with you, that Senator Claire McCaskill did, that says something, Manu. Thank you so much.
He's a good reporter, among other things.
That goes without saying. Thanks, Manu. Let's discuss this and much more. Let's bring in Bernie Sanders campaign manager Jeff Weaver. He's joining us right now from Vermont. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. We'll get to the conversation, hopefully, about Debbie Wasserman Schultz in a second. First, we have to ask you about the breaking news that broke just at the top of this hour about this official Inspector General's report coming out from the State Department saying that Hillary Clinton did not comply with the rules with regard to how she handled her email practices during her time at the as the head of the State Department. Bernie Sanders famously said, "We don't care about your damn emails," in that debate. Does this change that?
No, I think there's still an ongoing process, Kate, and this is part of that process, and I think we should let the process play itself out. I mean, this is just one piece of a bigger process, and as the senator said, as you pointed out, back as early as November, this is not something that needs to be kicked around in the political arena. This is something there's a process for. We're going to let it play out.
But Jeff, this part of the process is done. This is the official Inspector General report from the State Department. The State Department says she did not comply with the rules there. Are you saying the official position of the Sanders campaign is you have no reaction at all to this report?
Well, I think the report speaks for itself. I mean, this is obviously an area where the senator has chosen not to go. He's tried to keep this campaign on the issues like the minimum wage, on health care, on trade policy, on making college affordable. And that's why he's doing so well in this campaign, is because he is talking about these substantive issues. And people can make their own judgments about what is reported in the news about these other issues.
And so Bernie Sanders will not be speaking about this?
I don't anticipate that he will, yes. Or no.
Let's talk about Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Of course, it depends on what he's asked, and that's, of course, why everyone would like to speak to Bernie Sanders anytime.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz, you just heard Manu's report a short time ago with some senators suggesting that maybe she's not the best person to lead the party heading into the convention to unify the party. You want her out, Jeff?
Well, I think what the party needs, and I think the senator spoke about this the other day on Sunday television, I think what the party needs is a person at the head of the DNC who can help unify the party, who can bring the various factions of the party together. We have had good relations with many people at the DNC. I and others in our campaign talk with senior DNC people on a regular basis. But there has been, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has been, I think, unfair in many respects, going back as early as the scheduling of the debates, scheduling them on weekends, scheduling only a few, cutting off the Sanders data right before Iowa in a move that was at least privately denounced by many people in the DNC. She certainly came out and tried to put the gasoline on the whole Nevada thing. So I just think that there's been a pattern of conduct which calls into question whether she could really be the kind of unifying force that we need in the Democratic Party.
So then do you want to see her to go? Then do you want to see her go?
Well, I think someone else could play a more positive role. Let me put it that way.
I think that's one way of saying yes, Jeff.
Well, I'm trying to be diplomatic.
And diplomatic you are. And one more thing we got to ask you about.
Sure, of course.
You said to Jeff, no, you're Jeff. You said to John just last night that Senator Barbara Boxer, when she said at the Nevada Democratic Convention that she feared for her safety, you seemed to suggest that she was lying about the fact because she was blowing kisses as she left the stage and she was walking off. You said it was incongruous, the fact that she feared for her safety and then had this act. I'm being very accurate with how you described it. That's what you said. But she said that to me, that she feared for her safety. You stick by that? You seem to think that she was lying, yes?
No, I didn't. That was not my word. That was John's word. I never used that word. Would not use that word. But it does seem incongruous that someone would be fearing for their life, and then if what you see in that video of the blowing of the kisses, sort of taunting.
She didn't say she was fearing for her life. She said she feared for her safety. Does that distinction make a difference to you?
Oh, no, but okay. So she said she feared for her safety, and then she is in a video that's widely available online, shown sort of contemptuously blowing kisses at the Sanders people who are obviously upset during this whole process, as we all know. That don't seem to match up. That's all I said.
Well, if it doesn't match up,
it was John's word.
I asked you if you thought she was lying last night. What you told me was you thought it was incongruous, her actions and what she was saying. Does that mean she's saying one thing and doing another? Do you think she's saying something that she does not believe to be true?
Well, I have no idea what is in the senator's head. All I'm saying is she said one thing to Kate, and then if you watch the video and you put the two together, they just don't seem to line up.
But you don't know what's in her head, so it's possible that she was feeling for her safety, correct?
I think people can make their own judgments, John. I don't think my opinion on this is necessarily all that important. I think if people listen to the interview and watch the video, they can come to their own conclusions.
Jeff Weaver, thank you so much. Always great to have you on. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm always glad to be here. I talk with both of you.
Thank you very much. All right, so we just spoke with Jeff Weaver about this incident in Nevada. What does Senator Barbara Boxer have to say about all of it? She is going to be joining us live. That's going to be coming up.
Plus,